LeBron's deal with Coke was a cornerstone of his early empire. He was earning over $50 million a year from endorsements, and Coke was a big chunk of that. Coca-Cola, the biggest beverage brand in the world, signed the young LeBron James a 6-year deal in 2003 at 18 years old, even before he was drafted on the National Basketball Association, or the NBA. The beverage company saw LeBron as their golden ticket to dominate the sports drink and soda game, especially with Sprite's Obey Your Thirst campaign, and its global reach gave LeBron's face visibility in over 200 countries. Over the years, you saw LeBron become the face of Coke's brands, from Sprite cans to Powerade bottles. In 2008, Coke had him pitch Powerade with epic commercials, and by 2014, they took it up a notch, giving him his own limited edition drink, Sprite 6 Mix. Coca-Cola said this was the first time Sprite collaborated with a cultural influencer like LeBron, and it came with a big marketing push from commercials, digital billboards, even chances to win signed jerseys. It helped him build a brand of authenticity, especially since he grew up drinking Sprite. He said, "Growing up drinking Sprite, I never imagined I would have my own flavor someday." For 18 years, the NBA superstar was Coca-Cola's powerhouse, helping push Powerade against Gatorade, and giving Sprite some serious street credibility with younger fans. Powerade's retail volume grew 15% in 2007 alone, while Gatorade dipped. However, after nearly 2 decades of strong partnership, they had come to terms to end it in September 2020. But why end it? Both sides said they were reviewing resources for long-term growth and mutually agreed to part ways. Sounds diplomatic, right? But you know there's more to the story. LeBron was ready for a new gameplay. Coke's been the market leader for beverages for forever, and it's been in rivalry with Pepsi for over a century. It holds a 43.7% share of the U.S. soda market in 2019, compared to Pepsi's 24.1%. But despite Pepsi always being the scrappy underdog, it always takes risks to stay relevant, leaning hard into celebrity endorsements like Michael Jackson, David Beckham, and now LeBron James. When LeBron ditched Coke in 2020, he wasn't just leaving a brand, he was jumping into Pepsi's corner. LeBron's bold move was like picking the team with momentum. By joining Pepsi, not only the NBA superstar tapped into a growing $14 billion energy drink industry, with a market cap of over $188 billion, nearly neck and neck with Coke's $186 billion. But also LeBron positioned himself with a brand that has a broader portfolio. Because Pepsi's parent company, PepsiCo, it isn't just about drinks. They've got snacks like Doritos and Lay's, giving LeBron a bigger platform to flex his influence. And Coke couldn't offer that kind of diversity. Welcome to the price of perception, and this is why LeBron James ditching Coca-Cola is a genius move. In 2015, Pepsi dropped a massive bombshell by snagging the NBA's official food and beverage sponsorship, ending Coke's 28-year run. Sprite was everywhere at NBA events like the Slam Dunk Contest, but Pepsi swooped in with a 5-year deal, making Mountain Dew the lead brand and bringing in Aquafina, Doritos, and Ruffles to NBA games. This gave Pepsi official partner status across the NBA, WNBA, G League, and USA Basketball. Many speculate that the deal was worth way more than Coke's, and Pepsi's investment was a massive step up, but no one knows how big exactly. Meanwhile, we all know that LeBron's not just a basketball superstar. He's also a brand himself, a producer, a cultural force, a businessman, and, well, a genius. Ditching Coke for Pepsi wasn't just picking a new drink sponsor, he was doubling down on his influence in the NBA's ecosystem. So, when LeBron signed with Pepsi in 2020, he wasn't only joining a brand, but also he was aligning with the NBA's official partner. What's wild is how this alignment future-proofs his brand. Pepsi's NBA deal includes digital innovation, like immersive fan experiences on platforms like NBA League Pass. LeBron, who's already producing shows through his SpringHill company, can tap into Pepsi's NBA-connected media opportunities, from branded content to virtual events. But Coke, without that NBA partnership, they couldn't offer him that kind of platform. LeBron's move was not accidental, it was precise and strategic. It's like getting a home court advantage in business. However, for Coke, this was like a heavy gut punch, having lost 2 long-term relationships within 5 years. Coke still had individual player deals, but Pepsi owned the league's marketing machine. The crazy thing is that the NBA isn't only huge in the US, but also worldwide. It's one of the most watched sports leagues in the world, with 2.1 billion followers across social platforms. So this partnership with Pepsi has given LeBron a massive global reach. In fact, in China, roughly 300 million people play basketball. The NBA superstar is basically a god there. Pepsi's partner, Tingyi, pushes Master Kong drinks at NBA events in China, and LeBron's face on Pepsi products taps into that massive market. You've got to admit, that's a huge game well played by the king. And when opportunities like that come knocking at your door, you don't let it slip away. LeBron knew which team was winning, and he saw it coming from a mile away. His endorsement game is big, and he has all the leverage. It all started when he became a multimillionaire at the age of 18 with his massive $16 million deal with Coke in 2003, even before he started playing for Cleveland Cavaliers. By 2020, his endorsement value had skyrocketed. He was pulling in $65 million a year from deals with Nike, Beats, and others. But Pepsi was a financial jackpot that gave him serious negotiation muscle, skyrocketing his net worth to $1.3 billion. This made him the first active NBA player to hit billionaire status in history. Coke couldn't match Pepsi's offer, not just because of money, but because Pepsi's NBA partnership gave them deeper integration. The 4-time NBA champ leveraged this to demand creative control, equity stakes, or even production tie-ins with his own business ventures, like his SpringHill company that produces films like Space Jam, and Blaze Pizza, which he owns 10% equity. Something he's also done with Nike and Beats. LeBron knew his worth, and he played Pepsi and Coke against each other like a pro, which strengthened his negotiation power for future deals. He's become the master of puppets, pulling strings because of his unmatched influence. PepsiCo owns 23 brands that each pull in over $1 billion a year. Brands like Gatorade, Lay's, Doritos, Quaker Oats, Tropicana are in over 200 countries, with a net revenue of $91.9 billion, outpacing Coke's $46.5 billion in 2024. They're all wired into pop culture. Combine that with King James's cultural influence, and the result is a multi-billion-dollar partnership. This was a real game changer for the Los Angeles Lakers superstar, because he's not locked into just one vibe like he was with Coke's Sprite, which was all about soda and nostalgia. PepsiCo's range lets him connect with his fans, whether you're grabbing a snack, hydrating after a workout, or sipping energy drinks. And speaking of energy drink, the company launched a brand new product called the Mountain Dew Rise in 2021, and LeBron became the face of that product. It wasn't just some rebranded soda. It was a whole new energy drink line designed to compete with heavyweights like Red Bull and Monster. With flavors like Pomegranate Blue Burst and Peach Mango Dawn, LeBron's face is plastered on every 16-ounce can, complete with a lion logo that screams King James. LeBron was the first athlete to launch an entirely new brand with PepsiCo. And unlike his Coke days, where he mostly promoted existing products like Sprite, Pepsi let him shape Mountain Dew Rise from the ground up. The campaign, Rise Above, mirrors his Strive for Greatness mantra, with commercials showing LeBron rejecting a life of coasting.
Nah, I choose to rise.
That Mountain Dew Rise ad resonated with his fans because it felt relevant. It even became more personal when he said that even him also feels lazy sometimes, saying, "There's weeks, there's days, there's months where I lack a little energy as well, because of how hard I work, hard I go, and how hard I strive to be the greatest at what I do. So any little kickstart from a drink, a person, or from music, I try to take full advantage of it." PepsiCo's CMO, Fabiola Torres, said that LeBron is the epitome of motivation and has achieved legendary status by seizing every morning. He not only continues to excel on and off the court, but has dedicated his life to help others rise as well. LeBron and Pepsi basically built a brand around the superstar's legacy of rising every morning. But LeBron didn't stop at Mountain Dew. PepsiCo's deal was about activating across their portfolio, and they meant it. In 2021, LeBron starred in a Ruffles commercial for their Own Your Ridges campaign. It was PepsiCo's first Ruffles ad in a decade, and LeBron made it a cultural moment. Then in 2022, he added LifeWtr to his PepsiCo lineup, a purified water brand pitched as whole body hydration. LifeWtr's already hit $150 million in revenue, and LeBron's endorsement is pushing it toward PepsiCo's next billion-dollar brand. Blaze Pizza, where LeBron owns a 10% stake, might have started flowing Pepsi products into Blaze locations, replacing Coke. The King has turned his personal endorsements into a business synergy by integrating PepsiCo's portfolio, which also opened doors for LeBron to launch or co-create new products. The company's betting on him to build brands from scratch, like Mountain Dew Rise, which tapped into a $14.5 billion energy drink market. However, despite having all the fame, power, and influence that every man could ever ask for, the NBA superstar doesn't forget to give back. What makes LeBron's Pepsi move truly special is that it's not only about business, but it's also about the impact that he makes to people's lives. As a kid who grew up in Akron, he has supported over 1,400 at-risk kids in his hometown through his I Promise school since 2018. Since opening, it's served by offering free uniforms, meals, bikes, and college scholarships to the University of Akron. His partner PepsiCo got involved and teamed up with the NBA Hall of Famer for the Rise Up Akron campaign, tied to Mountain Dew Rise Energy. It wasn't just about selling drinks, it was about inspiring kids in Akron to chase their dreams. PepsiCo also donated $100,000 to the I Promise School as part of the campaign, funding STEM programs and mentorship. You can't look at this and not see a guy playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. LeBron's Pepsi move gave him a megaphone to amplify who he is. Not just an athlete, but a creator, a motivator, and a leader. He's got the freedom to craft campaigns that feel like his own movies, and the narrative to inspire you to rise, own your ridges, or hydrate your soul. Ditching Coke wasn't just a business venture, it was LeBron betting on himself to tell a story only he could tell. That's why this was his best play ever. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, please like and subscribe to our channel to find more stories that change your perceptions, which affects value and price tags. I'll see you next time.